Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Grave Visitations here. So I'm in County Galway today in a little village called Kiltormer, and I just found this little gem. It's a Church of Ireland church that's being repaired at the moment, and it's a beautiful little church with a couple of graves. So we'll go around and have a look and I'll show you. So this is the church area here. It's called St. John Church of Ireland in Kiltormer. Now there is one or two photos online of the church, what it looked like before they done some restoration work on it. Here you can see they've cut down the trees and tidied up the area. But it's a beautiful church, and there's a couple of interesting graves in here also. So you can just see the old church there, and the roof is in bad repair at the moment. The roof has caved in and all those windows are blocked up, but it is under repair. I'm sure it's the Church of Ireland ones are usually the forest fruits, I think they're called. They do up the area. So I'm sorry about the barking in the background, just a dog nearby in a house. But just here you have this grave with the, now this looks more modern looking, this grave. So this person was interred here in 2005. So this would have been, I'm guessing, the last person to be buried here in the old Church of Ireland grounds. And it's Joan Hayes, who died the 29th of September 2005, age 82 years old. And there's a lovely little angel down the bottom of it and some flowers. A lovely Celtic design on that headstone. You see the old railing around those graves. Now there's an interesting plaque here on the gable end of the church, and I'll try and read this fee. Now this says, "Sacred to the memory of Henry Shepherd and Anne Moore, his wife, whose mortal remains repose in this Kiltormer churchyard. He fell asleep at Larnestown on the 3rd of April 1882, that looks like, or it could be 32, I'm not sure. She at New Inn, 14th of April 1840, both places being in County Galway." And then it says under that, "Also sacred to the memory of their children, Richard, Ellen and Eliza. The bodies of Richard and Eliza rest in the United States of America, while Ellen's ashes are deposited in Londonderry Cathedral graveyard. They all lived and died in the faith of him who said, he that," I'm not sure, is that beneath in me, though were dead, yet shall he live. And then it says also, "Our son and brother has erected this plaque as a tribute of enduring love." So that's a monument or a plaque on the wall, and it's very interesting. In the old Church of Ireland here in a little village. And Richard and Eliza rest in the United States of America, while Ellen's ashes are in Londonderry Cathedral graveyard. So that's very interesting. And we have the railing around this one here. William David Hardy, who died the 31st of October 1980, aged 84 years old. Loving memory of Joseph Vincent Seymour Hardy, who died the 23rd of December 1940. Also his wife Marion Grace, who died the 25th of May 1988, aged 96 years old. His parents, Alicia Jane Hardy, died in 1897, aged 40 years old. And her husband died in, looks like, 1915, aged 96 years old, William. So, some very new and kind of old graves, like 2005, I'd imagine, is the last person that was buried here. But you can just see the church there. And it's a really beautiful old church, Church of Ireland. And as I was saying, that plaque on the wall there is very interesting, and I must look up that cathedral in Londonderry. Her ashes are deposited there. Now in this one we have Catherine Stewart Hay, wife of Robert Hay, who died February the 20th, 1896, aged 70. And of Robert, who died March the 27th, 1898, age 81. Also their grandson Robert, son of William, who died in 1837, age 6 years and 11 months only, it says. Now you can see the scenery around the old church here. All those beautiful fields. And it's just resting on top of a hill here, the church, off the main road. Erected in memory of Mary, devoted wife of William Lyle Hay, who died on May the 25th, 1932, aged 72 years, and of their son James, 2nd Lieutenant, Northumberland Fusiliers, who fell at the Somme battle on July the 3rd, 1916, in his 21st year. Also of their daughter Catherine, who died on April the 8th, 1913. And she was only 14 years old. James Lyle Hay was born in 1896. He grew up on the Clonbrock Demesne, Ballinasloe, County Galway. His father, William, was a steward for the Lord and Lady of Demesne. His mother was Mary Mitchell McCarthy. James's parents were originally from Belfast. James was educated at the Grammar School, Galway, from which he passed into University College Galway as a student of engineering. James's military life. James joined the British Army in 1915. He joined as an officer and ranked 2nd Lieutenant. He was assigned to the 15th Battalion, Northumberland Fusiliers, and was later transferred to the 12th Battalion. He was deployed in France on the 6th of October 1915. James was killed on the 3rd of July 1916, leading a squad in the attack on Frycourt to take some woodland called Shelter Wood. There are two accounts of his death, one being he was killed by a sniper, and the other was killed by a piece of shell. James was very well known and respected within his battalion. When Lady of Clonbrock wrote to the Inquiry Department for Wounded, Missing and Prisoners of War, she was sent a letter giving the two accounts of his death. James was buried in Gordon Dump Cemetery in Somme. So another interesting grave here. Their son James, 2nd Lieutenant of the Northumberland Fusiliers, who died in the Battle of Somme. And these would be all the one family here. You can see the old church there, and the 3 headstones are all in this one area with the old iron railing around it, so they're all interred in the one plot here. This is in memory of Marion, wife of Alex Lyle, who departed this life at Ballinasloe on the 10th of January 1855, aged 58 years old. Deservedly regretted. And of Alex Lyle, who died at Lisdoonan House, County Down, on the 19th of March 1873, aged 82 years old. So there we have some more amazing history that you just wouldn't expect to find, this old place on the side of the road. And as I was saying, I'm in County Galway. So I was down at a funeral of a very good friend of our family's, and I was at the funeral, and it was sad, and while I was in the area, I said I would do some videos for you guys to show you what's in Galway. There's the ruin of the church there. It's a beautiful looking church. Some old graves, and some of these are hard to read. It's hard to read. The inscription on this one has faded away. Now we can read this. Sacred to the memory of Alexander Macaulay, it looks like, who departed this life on the 10th of November 1844, aged only 22 years old. So there's young people buried here from the 1800s. Now this one here is very interesting. You can see all this old iron railing all around it. A very, very large gravesite. And this old gate here. And you can just see where the steps are going into the old grave here area. And now it has overgrown, but you can see where the steps go down there, where you could walk into the grave, and I'm not sure is that safe to go in there, but I could certainly see how far I can go. I don't want my mic to get caught in the... Now, this one here says, in loving memory of William Worthington, heir, who died on the 13th of April 1955, aged 65, and his wife Mary is buried here as well, who died on the 1st of October. It looks like here, 1985, aged 93. Now, what I found interesting was this large, very large headstone here. And it says, here lies the sincere friend, it says. Here lies the sincere friend and guardian of, it says, it's hard to read with the ivy here. Now that has grown in. Earl, if I can... Early. It says, "Here lies the sincere friend and faithful guardian of our early youth," it says. So that's just a headstone, I'd imagine, that has been erected there for the family. And I've never seen one like that before. "Here lies the sincere friend and faithful guardian of our early youth," it says. Now, I'm going to try and see, can I get over here, guys, to read what's on this one in here. And this one just here says, "In loving memory of husband and father Thomas Stratford Eyre, who interred into life in 1898 in February, and his wife Marion Dallas Eyre, who died in 1920 aged 83 years old." So that'll show you guys where we came from. All this overgrowth here and that old gate that brings you inside this really large gravesite here beside the old church. It's a beautiful grave. And I just make my way back out and close this gate again. So there you can see where we were reading those headstones there. And this old gate that's there also. Really beautiful old graveyard. Look at the size of that old iron railing that goes around the gravesite here. It's just beautiful. And just over here beside that then we have another old grave, and I can't see any inscriptions on this old one here. We have the old railing around it again, and you can see just over there would be the headstone, and it's covered completely in ivy there, so it wouldn't be possible to read that. But what a beautiful little gem I found. Really old graveyard, full of history again, and you just never know what you're going to find in these really old graveyards. People that fought in the war and everything and anything really. So there's not many graves and people buried in here in the old church, and you can just see where it's near the road there. So I seen it from the road and said I wanted to come in and show you. Now it has been cleaned up extremely well. You can see all the trees have been cut down there, and there was a lot of overgrowth as well. But a beautiful St. John Church of Ireland old graveyard. And as I said, if I can find any pictures online of what it looked like before they cleaned it up, it looked really beautiful before they cleaned it up even. You know, I like the old overgrowth and all the trees, and when things look hidden and stuff, that's my kind of thing as well. But that's the old Church of Ireland church here in Kiltormer in County Galway. So guys, I think I'll wrap the video up there, and thanks for watching the video. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel for more great videos from me, grave visitations. Take care guys, and God bless from this beautiful area here in County Galway. See you on the next one guys.
people.